Hi, I'm Vicki Graham. Have you ever called someone by the wrong name? Maybe you were calling your kids in for dinner and just called all of them out, or you were in a hurry and you just said the wrong name, or, oh, I hope this didn't happen to you during your wedding vows. I, Ross, take you, Rachel. I mean, Emily. Whoops. I guess a better question would be who hasn't done that? I think it's pretty normal. And it comes with being human. You know that expression, you're only human. What does it really mean? To me, it means that we're imperfect. And that is part of the journey. We are not going to be perfect because we're human beings. It's something that really interests me from my career as a physical therapist and my early beginnings. This topic of being imperfect. So today I want to talk to you about sort of my journey around that and how I think that this goal of perfection is so incredibly harmful. I see it every day in my room as a vision therapist. And I want to help you with the information I've gained from studying this and working with people over my career, the way that we now understand truly what it means to be human and how the brain works, I think can really unlock some of that shame and unrealistic expectations. Because really, leaning into the imperfection of humanity, perfectly imperfect you, is the key to unlimited success and joy and happiness. Back to the first question. How do you think it is that it's such a common experience that we call out the wrong names? I was really curious about this, and it turns out we actually know this now. In our brain, I know I have a background in neuroscience, but I promise to keep this pretty straightforward. I think it's easier when things are simple for all of us, really. So, in our brain, we have language in buckets. So, there's categories, there's names of your children. There's people who live in your house that you love, maybe even including some animals, if you've ever done that. And when we're in a hurry, when we're calling out somebody, we reach into that bucket and we pull out a name. Oh, the first thing that you pull out is one of your kids' names. It may not be the child that you intended to call, but it makes sense if you were just quickly reaching in, you could easily pull out the wrong name. What would be problematic from a neurologic standpoint, for example, if you'd had a stroke or some sort of serious event, would be if you called your child table. That would be a problem, unless you'd actually named them that already. But that's a whole other conversation. Calling your child table means you did not know which bucket to search in. That's a problem. Calling your child by the wrong name in the same bucket, pretty normal. Now, I think the most interesting question about this is what do we do with this mistake? I think most of us, because it is so common, laugh about it. And I don't think that most of us think there's something wrong with us, unless that's the story. Unless you're worried, oh my goodness, did I get a concussion or am I growing older? It's the story around the human experience that can be so challenging. I wanted to explore this further because of my own experience with stories of labels. I was born with a birth defect. That word defect to me means I'm broken. I was defective. And all of my surgeries to repair my cleft lip and palate, although they were necessary, they were always considered reconstructive. Again, reinforcing my deep seated shame around being broken and needing repair. Now, I don't think there's anything terribly wrong about a label. As a physical therapist, I've had lot of patients that were so validated by a diagnosis. They thought that maybe they were making it up or that people didn't believe them. And so when they got a diagnosis, oh, they would come to me and say, I knew there was something wrong. And that's very empowering. It's again what we do with that label that matters. If you can use a label to get the help that you need so that you can become, again, empowered to be the hero, to get the special therapy or whatever it is that you need, then I think the label serves you. If, however, the label serves to shame and blame, I don't see it being very valuable. And that leads me to my next point. Many of the children that I see coming into vision therapy to work with me have something called letter reversals. And it's specifically taking a D and a B maybe, and not being able to differentiate between the two. But if we go back to language with the first question I asked you, let's put these shapes with a line and a circle, same shape, in a bucket. I'm in a hurry. I reach in, I grab a line and a circle. Is it a B or a D? Guess what? It's also P and Q. What a terrible design to have the same shape be 4 different letters in the English alphabet. Reaching in and grabbing the wrong letter is really a pretty minor thing. People don't ever mix up X and B. It just doesn't happen because they're in really different buckets. And I think, again, that idea that there's something wrong with you if you make a very understandable human mistake, that can be really limiting. In the next few videos, I will summarize how children learn to read and what you can do to support their journey.